PP is changing. But don't be worried. It's a bunch of tiny changes all bundled into one little patch, and I'm just going to go through all the stuff that's happening so you don't have to freak out or worry or anything. It's pretty much every single game mode is getting an update to PP, but I don't know anything about any of the other game modes, so I'm just talking about standard. First on the line, make speed skill consider only shortest jump distance from sliders. There was a bug in the speed skill that was incorrectly considering how far a slider was, and it was giving extra PP to some maps that shouldn't have been there before. Okay, they fixed the bug. Some speed players will get nerfed by this very slightly, but it's a bug, okay? It had to be fixed. Remove flashlight strain decay factor, and this is the first one of the flashlight changes, which can get a bit technical unless you know the details of the PP system and such things. All you need to know is there's some flashlight changes, and it's changing how flashlight works. Like, I mean, how do you interpret this? Fixed cumulative strain time calculation in flashlight skill. Huh? I mean, if you guys want to read through this and, like, try and understand what's happening, here, then you can, but I'm not going to. Here's a big one. More accurate calculation of effective miscount. Effective miscount is an estimation of how much you missed, right? Like if you see someone who has an S rank on a map, but they only have half the combo, they probably slider broke. So that adds a bit to your effective miscount. So what they did was they changed it around. They probably follow some new function that'll more accurately determine that. Cool. Consider hit object opacity in flashlight skill. Another flashlight one. But this one's pretty interesting. This now takes into account what is visible to the player. Like you have the little circle of flashlight, and some notes might not even be visible when you're over them. So it considers that now, which is kind of huge. Improved double tap detection and speed skill. This isn't what you think it is. So what happened here was someone realized if you have really, really, really fast doubles, like 600 BPM doubles, it like breaks PP. This is the map that broke it. Let me show you. Let me just show you what this looks like. Here we go. As you can see, a little bit broken. So this is the change that fixes that. Oh, hey, Pudex, your map will be able to get ranked soon. Did you know that? Remove difficulty spike nerf from flashlight skill. Pretty self-explanatory. Change speed accuracy scaling to be closer to worst case scenario. This might be a bit of a controversial one, but it's here for an important reason. It's taking your mess ups in your accuracy, right? 100s, 50s, misses, and it's assuming that you dropped accuracy on the hardest parts of the map to tap. So this is meant actually to rip off the band-aid that is the 50s nerf. This is a much better way where it's just gonna, assume that you drop the AC on the hardest part. So the maps that were abusing before the 50s nerf, like Hidamari no Uta, it just assumes that you lost it there. And you can see like the PP difference right here. That kind of alludes to one of the changes we're going to go over next. Anyway, remove non-overlapping velocity buff from aim. This is the one that a lot of people have been waiting for. If I said the words Xane nerf, you would know exactly what I'm talking about. This pretty much just fixes that. Yay. And then a general performance points balancing pass, which has a couple changes bundled in that within this bundle of changes. So there's just a few things in here, but they're pretty cool things, I think. Number 1, raw aim buff. Slight raw aim buffs. Congrats, aim players. You're back in business. Does not include slider aim or high BPM aim. But hey, hey. Number 2 is just a bunch of relaxed stuff for lasers, so you don't really have to worry about this. Number 3, as I said before, reduce speed 50s nerf. And they would love to remove it completely eventually, but for now it's just reduced, which is great. We love to see that. And number 4, one of the other big ones that people are going to get riled up about, reduce low AR bonus, because some maps were getting more PP with easy than without. The Kalanlu maps, the stuff that he was playing halftime easy flashlight, that's going to be brought down a bit to a much more reasonable level, and so for anyone going like, whoa, you can't just nerf Kalanlu, that's so unfair. I have at least one person who would disagree with you. Probably the most important person to disagree with you. So you might be curious about some of the values and what's going on. So let's just check out a few profiles really quick. As we can see the rankings right here, MREC number 1, Lifeline number 2, Eterna number 3, Whitecat number 4, and Shimon number 5. You can see some of the changes in PP values. Here are the highest PP plays in the game after the changes. I'll let you read that. And here's just a few profiles which people might be interested in. You know, I hear people talking about these players all the time, especially in PP reworks, wondering what's going to happen to them, and there you go. So as you can see, it's not all that scary, it's not all that huge, it's just a bunch of tiny changes all in one. Seems like a pretty good rework to me. They fixed some bugs, they are trying to pull off some old band-aids which were really bad. They're just trying to make the PP system better, and that's what every change is. So this one took a couple months for them to finally push through, but hey, I'm glad it's finally coming, right?